Hello, gentlemen and gents, because no women play the game, let's be for real. Dan VR here. Today I'm talking about a situation that I've sort of noticed over the last couple metas, which is the lack of actual curse viability. Now, in the past, curses used to be the strongest, enchant effect you can get, and because of that, they had drawbacks. For example, Curse of the Bloodthirsty, you essentially did, I think it was 3 times damage on your M1s, but every time you missed, you took massive backlash, and you had additional, no, that was just it. Yeah, you did 3 times damage, but you took, 3 times damage if you missed, and then you also did, additional blood damage. No Life King, you had massive regen, but you were always on 1 life, and if you, equipped it in the depths without a sanity build, you just died. Now, Umbral Knight, that one, I don't know if this was ever confirmed. Allegedly with Umbral Knight, if you did not gank somebody every day, you would be absorbed by the blade, and you'd either lose a life or you'd just send you to depths. But what that did is every time you M1 to crit, it would summon an Umbral Knight, like a ghost that would then mimic your attack, which just hit for a ton of damage. See, those were super cool, they were super powerful, and they had considerable drawbacks. Now though, what enchants do you see? You're not seeing people run curses. Because a lot of the curses, Bloodthirsty, Yun Shoal, and then half of the viability from No Life King, those are all centered around M1 damage, M1 combat. And that's just not what the meta is. When you look at enchants, you either want to be doing percent health damage, like Deferred or Detonation. And if you're not going for strictly damage, you're going for status effects, like Metal's armor stealing, and then the posture damage from Stone. Let's look at the curses now, okay? Bloodthirsty's been nerfed significantly. You do 1.1 times damage. You still take damage every time you miss a swing. And you do slightly increased blood damage, okay? Blood damage doesn't matter. You don't use blood for anything in the game unless you are on incredibly niche builds, such as No Life King. Okay, for No Life King, you still do the 2% insanity on M1 and you get a little bit of passive regen. But let's look at the debuff list for No Life King. So health bar is permanently stained unless you switch your weapon. You take 2 times blood damage from using No Life King. Viscosity is disabled if you're using No Life King. Condition Runner is disabled. Cauterizing Wound is disabled. Alloy Blood is disabled. And on top of that, as a lot of you players know, without even being comp or anything, if you're fighting a No Life King and you have an Alchemist on your team, it takes 3 or 4 insanity pots, and they just head pop. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Curse of the Unbidden, you give up your critical completely for the opportunity to use a counter. The counter doesn't empower your moves. It doesn't daze your opponent. Nope. It just negates it. And now it technically says on the wiki that you're gonna get attack priority, but let's be real. Now that everyone has Yun Shoal, or not Yun Shoal, what the hell? Now that everybody has Tap Dancer, you're not landing a hit. The other curse, going on, Yun Shoal. Yun Shoal can be powerful if it's actually proccing on your opponent consistently. But again, if it procs on you, and a lot of it is centered around M1. It only procs on your M1. So if you're fighting a mage build, good luck, bro. You might as well just give up. I don't know. Hopefully, going forward, with Conquest and with the additional focus on PvP, we can see the devs really buff up curses and then tweak the downsides appropriately. Because it's kind of a shame that the whole idea of a curse being super strong with a drawback, I think that's dope. And it's a shame that there's just no viable reason to really use any of them. Cheers.